Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Two Thumbs Up podcast. If you guys are having a fantastic day today, as always, I am joined by my co-host, Ducky the Gamer, and we are going to be bringing you guys the news and everything you need to know happening inside the world of mobile gaming. We got lots to talk about today, as we did miss the podcast last week, and there was honestly a lot of stuff that happened like right after the podcast got recorded as well. So we'll try to break everything down for you guys. But obviously, I would say probably the biggest announcement of the week, the one that a lot of the mobile community is looking forward to, is the announcement that we'll finally get to see official gameplay for Warzone Mobile. It is going to be at the Call of Duty Next event being held on September 15th in Los Angeles. And it's going to be a really big deal because this is the first time an event like this has really happened for a mobile title, especially for it to be happening alongside the release of Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. So
wait, Warzone 2 is a thing?
Yeah, Warzone 2 is the thing. It's not releasing at the exact same time as Modern Warfare 2, but it's like a couple months later.
Okay. Yeah, I knew about Modern Warfare 2, but Warzone 2, interesting.
Huh. I'm not sure if they're covering Warzone 2 at the event, but I think there probably will be some teasers and announcement about it. But anyways, myself and a bunch of other content creators did get invites to the event. So it's basically all the COD Mobile partners, streamers, and YouTubers as far as I'm aware. And then I think the one non-COD Mobile guy is Winsanity. Did you see anybody besides him?
No, I was just going to ask who outside of COD Mobile got invited, because I didn't get invited. And I'm not, no hard feelings, because understandable. It seems like there's just COD Mobile, which, like, very understandably, like, you're not going to invite, like, an Apex player. You're not going to invite, like, a Clash of Clans player to go play your new competitive first-person Battle Royale shooter. But I didn't see any. I know... was Vague invited? Was he?
I think Vague was invited. The thing is,
trolls.
Vague he has ruined his Twitter for like nobody's ever gonna take any announcement that he posts seriously. So he'll still get impressions, but nobody's ever gonna believe him again, which is up to him. I have talked to some people, and I was told Vague was invited, so I think that was a part of that Tribe content group. It does seem like the majority of the Tribe COD Mobile content creators are going to be going. With the exception of Kyle and Yanrique, and that might just be because they're outside
international.
US.
Yeah. I mean, that's so crazy. Like, I grew up playing COD. Like, COD was my first. When I got an Xbox, I had a Wii first. No, I had a PS2, and I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I remember I did the cheat code to make it so I never fell off a rail. And I got a Wii. And then when I finally got around to get an Xbox 360, COD Black Ops. I was like 10, bro. I don't know. My parents have always been chill, but I was like 10, and they let us get Black Ops. I was playing zombies, bro. I was playing multiplayer. And these events, COD would host these events of like early access gameplay. Like, I remember like Jericho would be there, Pro Syndicate. Who else? Like White Boy 7th Street would be, like, all those OG COD YouTubers would be at these events recording content on the new CODs.
Did they invite Chris Smoove to those? I don't know the timelines of Call of Duty and how that lined up.
Bro, I don't know. I'm shocked I pulled those three out of my head. But it's just crazy to think now that mobile creators are getting invited to like the new Warzone mobile event. Like it's just so weirdly full circle that it doesn't feel real in that regard. It's like I don't know if I can compare it to anything else of like how. Like, it's not this.
There's
like,
no other game that does stuff like that, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
you can say all the bad stuff that you want about Activision and Call of Duty, but there's like, this is a game that is currently in its alpha state, and by the time this event is done, I think that Warzone Mobile will have spent more on marketing their game than like any other game in 2022. So
it's true.
The fact that they're already doing something like this because they're. Obviously, we're not getting paid to go, but they're paying for our flights, for our hotels, and everything.
I mean, you're gonna get some crazy exclusive content as well.
Exactly.
So those vids are gonna bang. And you made a good point of like they're doing it alongside of the actual Modern Warfare 2 event. So typically, like mobile. The one thing I have really liked about COD Mobile is they've integrated it very well with like the actual COD scene and being relatable. I feel like some mobile games, like Apex Mobile, it's not a dude. I wanted to not talk about the game, dude. Okay, it's too good of an example to not to. Sorry, guys. We're not going to have a dedicated Apex Mobile segment, but like Apex Mobile, it's done a really bad job like in conjunction with Apex, but them pairing it up with this event, it's going to give it crazy exposure from just the regular COD guys. And I can imagine as long as they put on a good show and it's good gameplay, it's going to be a really great first impression. I really hope. I mean, I think we've all sort of seen that leaked early alpha gameplay and it's kind of hit or miss. So I really hope it's like a pretty polished gameplay experience by the time. But now this, for me, it puts into question like, okay, gonna be sick, gonna get hyped. That's dope. What's the release timeline coming here? Because if I remember correctly, typically they used to they used to do like BO4 like betas where you played for like a weekend, like one weekend. But that wasn't that like in August though? That'd always be like.
Yeah, they've already started giving out beta codes for the for Modern Warfare 2. So I believe that happens in August, but I'm not 100% positive.
Okay, yeah, because for me, it's just playing in my mind. Like, if this is exclusive content no one's ever seen before, the beta is not happening. Maybe they'll announce the beta. Maybe that's my kind of like theory is they'll announce the Warzone Mobile beta at the thing, or at least dates or like a timeline. But like, do you think it's coming out this year? Because it would be in my opinion an incredible whiff to partner it up with this Modern Warfare 2 launch event, and then for them to go and then not release it, like not with Modern Warfare 2 but like in a timely manner.
So I know that Warzone 2 is releasing after Modern Warfare 2, and I don't think this is an 100% officially confirmed date, but I believe there were some leaks. I think some Warzone streamers were actually told when the release date of Warzone 2 is going to be. And if I remember correctly, I believe that's December 12th.
Okay.
Given the fact that we definitely still have a ways to go for the progression of Warzone Mobile, that could be the time that they try to line up the two. I'm definitely expecting either December or January to be like the global actual launch of Warzone Mobile. So if I had to guess, it's either going to be the start of the beta for Warzone Mobile, or at least, like you said, the announcement of the beta for Warzone Mobile on September 15th. So I think that's more than likely going to be the timeline. It's tough to tell like what to expect as far as beta durations go, because there's been a lot of variation. Like the COD Mobile beta wasn't all that long, but the Apex Mobile beta was like 7-8 months. I don't even know. Maybe it was a year.
No, how long was the COD Mobile one?
I think it was like 4 or 5 months. I'm not 100% positive.
That's so long. That's what gets me scared is like the mobile games we have to base off of like Warzone's launch. They like Apex was in some form of a soft launch, closed beta, open beta for like a year. Like they were testing this game for like a year, and it seems like Warzone's really trying to like out the gate just like keep this momentum going, which I could appreciate. But it puts into question.
But you also don't want to pull an Apex.
I was about to say, you just don't want to pull an Apex of like all this hype, and then you release the game that really shouldn't have been released then. It seems, we'll see. I'm holding my reservations to the event. I'll be watching. I'll be supporting from the sidelines, seeing when because something has to be announced. They're not going to show gameplay and be like, stay tuned for updates. That's lame. Yeah. So hopefully, either like a Warzone 2 timeline where like a beta gets launched in December, and then I don't know. I just want something new to play, man.
I feel like it could be the soft launch that happens, because obviously there's so many like blurred lines.
Well, no, they've already done the closed beta. I'm an idiot. They've already launched the closed beta like 2 months ago.
No, it's the alpha. It's closed.
That was the alpha?
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference?
Closed alpha means like very few people have access to it. It's like invite only.
But isn't that what a closed beta is?
No, closed beta is like region specific.
Oh, okay.
And then soft launch is region specific, but honestly, the biggest confusion for me is like the difference between a beta and a soft launch, because they're basically the same thing, but like not really.
I mean, for me, it's like I guess those are 3 stages. You have like your alphas, your betas, and your soft launches, and then the global launch. So if those are the 4 stages, we're only completing or only done with like 1 stage right now, which just makes me really scared for like how long it's gonna take to push out. We'll see. Like the announcement, the conference, or the event will be telling. Hopefully, build some hype. Get some.
I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to have a soft launch. I mean, that's been typical for mobile games, but
But this is also like a huge mobile game.
Yeah.
Like this is
it would be a big miss if they do end up missing. So I think they probably want to minimize the opportunity for that to happen as much as possible.
wait, and missing in what regard of like doing a soft launch and that like going
No,
bad?
missing is in like letting the game flop.
Oh yeah, of course. No, there's a lot of writing on this. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's only Warzone Mobile and Valorant Mobile. And Valorant Mobile is not even confirmed for next year. Everyone's just with the timeline would make sense because they've been doing closed betas for like months now.
They did announce that that it's officially not launching this year. So
I could have told you that.
Yeah.
But it's a little scary that like we only have 2 games next year to like really look forward to. I mean, we obviously have Rainbow Six that hopefully there will be some info coming out soon on that, and then like Rogue Company probably coming out next year. But like those are the 2 main games. So if one of them folds, like we already had Apex, that folded. If Warzone folds, I'm just going to PC. I don't know what to tell you.
Full-time Minecraft YouTuber.
Yep. Speaking of new stuff, new announcements, just some minor things. We like to keep you guys updated, the new games coming out, because there's so much information recently that's just been getting thrown all over the place, especially now there's Warzone stuff in the mix. Rogue Company now has a Twitter. So I feel like that is a good indication that like they're getting pretty serious about it. And they're getting, once a game makes its social medias, you can usually expect some announcements pretty soon thereafter from my experience. Cause I think with like Rainbow Six, like that was like they made their Twitter and like a week later they started like throwing out announcements. So maybe Rogue Company will have some betas, some alphas soon that people can play test. And then Rainbow Six, they did, what was it? They announced their Android Open.
They like
so
the
many
day
pages,
before
man.
they like had an announcement for the announcement of the closed beta of the game. I was like,
Oh, it's still closed?
I'm pretty sure.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like they're kind of like, I love Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six is like the definition, is a prime example of like doing social media right now in like the mobile landscape. But I think they're almost taking it like a little too far at times. Like they're almost trying a little
they're just trying to do too much. It feels a little bit extra at times.
Yeah, because there was someone, I think it was my tweet. I'm gonna go find it. It was my tweet yesterday. I tweeted out mobile gaming is so weird right now. Everyone's either waiting for a new game to come out or they're playing the same game they've been playing for the last 3 years. And then this guy replied, "So true. I'm playing COD M right now because Apex is completely disappointed, is completely disappointment and optimization to server lags." I basically said I'm waiting for Rainbow Six Mobile, and tagged them. And then they replied to this guy with like eye emojis, and then they're like, give us some information on like a release day, and they're like, closed beta starts in fall. So it's like, it's cool to see that level of interaction within a community, but it's also like, dog, like that was a completely separate tweet. I didn't mention a single game. One dude with like, this guy has what, 17 followers, replied to my tweet, and they were like, I respect it, I commend it, but it's also a little bit like, seeing a verified game pop up in your own tweet mentions like that, it's a little like, all right, you guys trying to get free promotion? Like, if it'd be different if I was like, I'm really excited for Rainbow Six Mobile, but it's almost like new games coming out, and they're like, hey, we're a new game, come check us out. So I would rather have too much engagement than not enough, and maybe I'm just like not used to a game company engaging this much. I don't know. Yeah,
I think also like it's one thing to do it if you have like an active game, but if all your game has at that point in time is an announcement of when the closed beta is gonna be, then like maybe pump the brakes a little bit and just like let things happen and let things develop, because it's not like the social media manager interacting with people when the game's not even in existence yet isn't gonna do a whole lot to build your brand.
No, that's actually it's a really great point as well. Like, but just looking at their social media numbers, like they're consistently pulling more engagement, maybe not as many impressions, but more likes and like comments on their posts than Apex Mobile is, and they only have a fourth of the following. So it goes to show that like their engagement is working for the audience. But yeah, it's also like you need to know when to build this hype, because I don't know if did Apex Mobile have this like, Apex Mobile was like hyped like 2 months before it came out. As soon as the soft launch came out, people were going bananas over it. And we don't even have a closed beta here. You could pre-register for the closed beta on Android, and the game is, doing great for the state it's in, but it's almost like I don't want people to get tired of a game that's not out.
I would agree with that. Honestly, looking at the numbers, you are right. Rainbow Six is pulling more interactions on average than Apex Mobile. And to be honest, the majority of Apex Mobile's interactions, especially as far as comments go, are probably not super positive. So
yeah.
I think that is like a lesson to be learned for Apex and the importance of community engagement, because as that reputation spreads, people are just going to be more likely to interact, and it's going to also build that positive sentiment toward the game. So there's pros and cons, like you said. It's better to be more active than less active, and I think Apex has shown us that. But yeah, I think they have the right mindset. I think a lot of it is just honing in on where to spend that time and energy, and also when to start building the hype. So
yeah.
Speaking of hype, exciting things happening for Call of Duty Mobile. The first ever Garena LAN event is happening this weekend for Masters 3. Which is also going to have qualifications for Stage 4 for Garena. They are hosting that in the Philippines, so a lot of people excited for that. Me personally, excited to watch party it. Obviously, Garena, I would say, is by far the most competitive region for Call of Duty Mobile. It's definitely the most active region for Call of Duty Mobile as well. The majority of the spectating videos that I do are on Garena servers, just because, especially as far as ranked goes, they are a lot sweatier. So one of the interesting things that I did want to note is the timing of this.
Wait, one question. Mm-hmm. They are having a LAN Stage 3 to get into Stage 4 when it was just online qualifiers for Stage 3, like NA, right? Because that was the guy who cheated, right? That was the Stage 3 Stage 4 qualifiers to get into.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it just because
Garena has tournaments all year long? NA has Stage 4.
Okay.
So that's the other part of what I was going to talk about, is that for global, obviously this is not Garena's fault at all, but for global and mixing in the LAN event with it, you now have 3 majors happening in one weekend, when you haven't had any events outside of the ones being run in India for the entire last 7 months. So it is a little bit interesting, and obviously, like, some esports are better than no esports, but for an established esports scene like COD Mobile, you would expect maybe a little bit better planning on that part, especially since, like, the amount of hype behind the Garena LAN happening right now, I'm not sure if the other two regions, like, obviously there will be people watching the regions, but I don't think the numbers are going to come anywhere close to what's happening on the Garena LAN. So you've got LATAM, which is later on. I don't think the LATAM viewership will really be impacted, but you have the India Stage 4, which is happening basically at the exact same time as the Garena LAN. I've got a feeling
is the India stage, is the Indian LATAM, they're not LANs, right? They're just online
they're
quals.
Just online.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's probably going to be a pretty big hit for India's Stage 4. That being said, they're doing a better job of promoting. They do have in-game skins that you can earn by watching Stage 4 for all the different regions as well. So
that's awesome.
They're doing a better job of promoting, but I personally, and I think probably the majority of the community, would like to see things spaced out a little bit better. It doesn't even have to be spaced out like months apart, but like
a weekend.
Maybe not 3 majors happening on the same weekend, you know?
Yeah, Fortnite, I really think Fortnite like kind of mastered the comp scene where there's a new season every 3 months or so, maybe every 100 days. And at the end of this season, I think it's 5 weeks of competitive Fortnite. So you basically go, 13 weeks of a season, and the last third of it is the FNCS, or it's the Fortnite competitive or like championship series. And so there's 4 weekends of qualifiers, and then a semifinals and a grand finals, I think. But this is like every season, and every season it pulls insane viewerships because it's like, it's consistent, it's reliable, end of season, FNTS is happening, they do a good job of advertising it. And it's like, for me, something I always struggled with in COD Mobile was like, I could not and still can't like ever understand the competitive scene, because listen, maybe I'm just stupid, but I can't seem to find any information anywhere. They don't seem to publicize that much of like, hey, we're doing a Greenland this weekend. Have they tweeted about it? Or am I an idiot?
I think there's a separate Garena Esports account. But
what is that?
It was made like a month ago.
Like, okay, so
yeah.
I remember this is one of my criticisms way early on in COD Mobile is like the comp scene is there, it seems like, but it's so decentralized or it's so sporadic that like someone who I enjoy the game, but I'm not like a connoisseur of like COD Mobile content. So I need like a one-stop shop for that. And like Fortnite's competitive Twitter has almost 2 million followers for a game's Twitter, where their main account has 15 million, but 2 million is still like insane.
That's crazy numbers.
And they tweet every day. Like, literally, they have active tweets every day about updates in the game, competitive, and, like, that'd be sick to have, like, a COD Mobile esports, something, or another.
Like an official one.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because you run the COD Mobile esports Twitter, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I agree with you. I would love for somebody else to do that.
Yeah. So if I want to know what's going on, I just turn on noties.
Yeah, basically. There's been a lot of like last second bans and everything as well, so everybody's talking about that right now. But all that to say, COD Mobile Esports still got a ways to go as far as, I mean, like you mentioned, the coordination for people being able to find information. That is something they've improved on, because if you go in-game, you actually get a notification that'll send you directly to the esports page, which has the brackets for all the different regions. It's going to have scores for all the different regions. So I am appreciative of the steps that they're taking, but I think definitely still ways to go to catch up to esports like Fortnite that do have that super well-rounded, very universally known kind of status and how things are going to be timed, when to expect things to happen, and everything like that. I think that is super crucial for having a consistent esports scene.
I wonder why Free Fire has that crazy viewership then, because like
it's
obviously
all because of in-game rewards.
Oh, okay, because Fortnite does that as well. Fortnite actually is a really they partner with Twitch, and if you watch, you can watch anyone's stream who has drops enabled, and it's kind of like that. If you watch the FNCS tournament, you'll get those drops in game on your account. So you're saying COD Mobile is going to be doing that this time, this weekend?
Yep.
Is it this weekend?
It's for all the weekends.
Oh, I'm saying like, is it this weekend though? Like,
oh yeah, the LATAM and India are this weekend. Yes.
Okay, wait. So when's Garena then?
Garena's this weekend as well, but it doesn't have rewards.
Bro, what? You're gonna have a LAN, bro? What? God.
Their main focus is the LAN, just because people have been waiting for that for so long.
Nah, I know, but it's like you already have such a hype event. Why not magnify that? What? Anyways, man, I don't know. That's it's disappointing. It's just like I feel like we see so many things that, like, listen, I'm not a marketing. I didn't go to school for marketing. I don't have a degree in marketing, but it's like, is that like not a no-brainer? Like,
yeah, I would say so. I mean, it should be a no-brainer for like every game at this point, but for some reason I think Arena's almost like so focused on esports that they don't think about incentives. They just put like all their time into effort into actually making the esports happening, and other things like that kind of fall by the wayside.
What was the viewership for last year's Stage 5 like? Because it was only like a few thousand viewers.
It was not good. There were no rewards. There was very little promotion. I think it capped at like 5,000 or 6,000.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was about to say, do you think the Garena LAN will beat last year's Stage 5 viewership?
Oh, I'd say there's a pretty good chance. Especially, the main thing is, in Garena, Facebook is the main viewership platform. So their Facebook stream will probably be 30, 40, 50,000 if I had to guess.
Fascinating. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that just crazy. The mobile, because Free Fire's was YouTube. They pulled out like 3 million on YouTube, but 50K, like, that's still really, even on Facebook, that's super respectable. Speaking of big viewerships and streamers of the like, some pretty hot and heavy drama has been going down recently of streamers being swatted in the community. Most notably, Speed. What is it? What's his name? This is Speed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
okay.
I
show Speed.
Wait,
bro,
I
whoa.
Show Speed,
I'm getting flamed for that one. I show Speeds. I don't watch him. But he was There was even drama about the swatting because the lead up to it was so confusing. Of like he prank called 911. So he called 911 in quotation marks, but it was his friend on the other line as a contact saved in his phone 911, and he was prank calling. Yo, you guys gotta come down here. You know, I set my PS4 on fire. Come help me out. And then I don't know the duration in between that call and when he got swatted, but then like that was one of the more aggressive swatting. So if you guys don't know, for context, swatting is when someone not prank calls. They will find out where someone lives. Should I explain it? I think I'm giving too much detail here for like how.
I feel like most people know what it is at this point.
Okay, you call into that person's local police department. You file a threat, or like a very serious, like someone's life is at risk at this address. Go send a SWAT
maybe
team.
not like this much detail. I was just gonna say you call the police and get them to go to a person's house thinking that they're bad.
Bro, but no.
Dougie's trying to give you guys a play-by-play of
No,
how to SWAT your least favorite streamer. We don't want to do that.
No, obviously, I'm just saying, bro. That explanation though is out there because that's how I figured out about it, and like I think a lot of people like, well, that's what they say. Like I know. Do you know Witch Critical?
Yeah.
I think he explained it as that. Like I think he reacted to one and he was like, because like, or else you can't SWAT if you're just like, yo, dude, something's crazy going on in this house. Like, so yeah, maybe a little too much information. I haven't done it. If you're asking, I have not partaken because it is illegal.
Like
it is a felony. It is a felony. I will not do it. I will never do it. I'm sorry. Don't do it. You'll go to. Someone actually went to jail for 20 years over this.
Yep.
So it's serious thing, but it hasn't happened. It feels like it hasn't happened for a really long time. And then just in this last like 2 weeks, there's been a myriad of like swattings. And it was funny, today I just saw another one. There's a Warzone streamer that goes by the name of Nadia, and she was swatted, but one of the police officers was a streamer and recognized she was streaming, and he was like, yo, she's 5 subs away from the sub goal, like, you know, go help her out, like we gotta talk to her, but when I come back, I want the sub goal to be hit. So it goes like, I think in like LA especially, like you can get swatted, but because it's so popular now, like, which is a bad thing. But it just happens so many times that police departments know what it is. And they're like, okay, like you could put your house on like a blacklist of like, there's streamers who it happened to them so many times, the police just like don't show up anymore.
Yeah. I think, didn't Aiden Ross get swatted as well?
Yeah, but was he not in the States then?
I don't know.
Bro, I don't know. I've tried to follow up with this as much as I can, but I know Aiden Ross got swatted, and I think there's another streamer. And then I just saw before hopping on that Nadia was swatted, but then like the most wholesome interaction ever, and it's just like it really like either way you're traumatized. Like bro, if I get knocked, whenever I get a knock on the door, it's my DoorDash. Yeah. Like if I get a knock on the door at 3 o'clock and I didn't order DoorDash, like bro. I'd be losing it. So,
yeah, I think I watched back the IShowSpeed SWAT, or I watched back the stream where he prank called the police, and the swatting didn't happen on stream. So I don't know if that,
because didn't he like start a second stream?
Maybe that might have been what happened, but I just watched the thing and I was super confused because obviously going back. Like, yes, it was a fake 911 call. I think kind of the two incidents are separate. I think what he was doing with the fake 911 call, I think that's a serious issue because I think there are lots of impressionable 12-year-olds that are watching him that are going to see that and they're going to say, oh, ha, 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 this guy's prank calling the police. We should try that next time we're hanging out. And they'll like actually do it, not understanding that he's prank calling his friends. So I think like there do need to be repercussions, but I don't think that was related to the police getting called on him.
It was all reported so not sporadically, but it was a weird story. It wasn't like you're streaming. Like typically you'll just see cops like walk into the camera frame, but he was like outside, and then the cops like took the guy's phone and like forced him to stop streaming, which I've never seen before. I've never seen. I always
don't think that's legal, is it?
No, I don't think it's like you can't force someone. What? I don't know. I'm not a cop. I'm not a lawyer, but usually it's always cops just like meandering through the room, like checking things out. But that was like a really aggressive, like, which almost like you hate to even throw the question out there, like, was it real? Regardless.
That's the thing, though.
It's
like,
a
if
terrible...
he's gonna fake prank calling the police, is it beyond like our realm of possibility that he would do that? Like, it's the whole boy who cried wolf thing. Like, he's willing to do this much and go this far for content. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask ourselves, was that an actual SWAT? Because, like, it does seem like he'll do just about anything.
I mean, he'll light fireworks off inside his house. Yeah, exactly. He'll light his PS4 on and fire in his house. He'll call cops, artificially call cops. So it's like, and you made a good point of, like, there's so many, like, young, like, that's a young demographic. That caters to, like, I'm going to be loud and obnoxious and going to attract the attention of younger
I
viewers.
can't imagine what those kids' teachers have to go through. It must be an absolute nightmare.
I don't know, but it's like, bro, that's a terrible standard to set. And it's even like, I feel bad having that question through my mind of like, was it real? Like that's, but it's also like, that's the kind of content he's been known to do, is just most outlandish stuff and like fake stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
If you'll set your house on fire doing fireworks on your bed, like, what won't you do? You know?
Yeah, no, you're crossing the line of just like doing anything. And I think we even said in that we talked about this. It was like he did a 4th of July thing. We lit fireworks off in his house, and I think I asked, like, you have to. It's like the David Dobrik. Like, you have to do something bigger and better. Like, you can't keep lighting off fireworks. People are gonna get tired of that. So like, is this the evolution of like low-key breaking the law? Like, it's a fascinating world being an IRL streamer, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's why so many IRL streamers end up getting like banned off platforms, because they keep trying to go further and further, and then they cross the line and they break the rules, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to something, I don't even know if I feel like talking about this. COD Mobile has bots and ranks.
I gotcha.
And we might just skip this.
No, wait.
Okay.
Why would you want to skip it, though?
I feel like there's not that much to talk about. I mean, COD Mobile has had bots in rank before. I think it's just it's been like a slow progression of where the bots are in rank. So it started like they would only be in rookie, they move out to veteran, elite, see them every once in a while in pro tier, and then at the start of this season, rank reset, and everybody was getting bot lobbies, which was interesting because I think that was the one thing that kind of separated COD Mobile ranked and put it, in my opinion, above other mobile games, is you have like a dedicated game mode that you're going to play where you know that you're never going to see bots. And then for bot lobbies in COD Mobile, it's not like, oh, there's a couple bots thrown in there. It's you and 9 bots. It is like fully bots. So that's something that I brought up with the COD Mobile team, because I don't think that it's intentional. I think that's a change that maybe Timmy brought up. Timmy being the developer of COD Mobile, trying to maybe keep people more engaged with rank, but maybe not understanding that has the opposite.
I was gonna say,
effect,
like,
in that it turns people off to rank.
I don't know. I don't understand. Like, do these guys not play the game? Like, I love COD Mobile. I love all these games, but like, have you ever played a competitive game with artificial intelligence in it? It is the most non-captivating, boring environment ever. And then it also has the reverse effect of, oh, I just dropped the nuke in Pro 2. I graduated to Pro 3. I went 2-18 because they're real players and I actually suck at the game.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it does a disservice to people at every level of the game, because for the people that are bad, that rank up, they go against people that are too good for them to play against, so they don't want to play. For the people that are at the top level, they end up, because the way skill-based matchmaking works, they get so many bad players on their team that it's impossible to win if you're not using the meta every single game. It makes it unenjoyable for them, because yes, you might get a bunch of kills, but at the same time, you have to lose every single game because your teammates are so terribly bad. So in the end, it doesn't benefit anybody, and it makes things frustrating for every level of the competition. It's just a lose across the board. And
something like looking onto now, like, I don't really play Valorant, but I know they have a system where, like, let's say you're just like a Radiant player, like you do not belong in the lower levels, and you make like a new account for whatever reason. You'll start off Iron. I think if you win, like, you dominantly win 3 games in a row, or like 2 games in a row, it'll just put you to the next tier. So rather than having to going from Iron 1 to Iron 2 to Iron 3 to Iron 4 to go to Gold, it goes like Iron 1, 2, Gold, and then Gold, 1, 2, Platinum, whatever. Like, it has this really like kind of advanced system of like, if it knows you're cracked and you don't belong in these lobbies, it just kind of shoots you up to where you deserve to be. And COD Mobile BR, I really, for the life of me, want to play this and make content on it. Bro, I have 1,000 points because I haven't played COD Mobile BR in seasons. Do you expect me to sit through 20-minute bot lobby games just to gain 150 points? Like,
I literally, like, whenever I get
I'm gonna be bored
lobbies,
for like 10 hours. Like, I don't want to play.
I just get into a helicopter and then I go AFK because I know nobody's going to shoot me down. So I wait for the zone to close, see where it closes, fly the helicopter there, jump out, kill the last bot, win the game. Like, it's just, it's not especially COD Mobile BR, it's not an enjoyable rank system at all. I think that's the biggest thing that has always held back COD Mobile BR, and the only reason that it's as popular as it is in specific regions is because there's enough people to make it so that the lobbies are like competitive on a consistent basis. But if you're trying to start out the game like from the start, there's just no reason wasting the time to do it.
Yeah, no, it's like, I don't like, bots are fine to pad like public matchmaking.
Yes.
But then it's also like, it's numbing my mind. Like, I'm losing IQ points, forcing myself to try to enjoy like playing these bots. And it's also like, as a content creator, I can't make content on terrible lobbies. And it as bad as this, like, if I was smurfing and if I was playing against real people, that is content. Like, I'm just dogging on 12-year-olds and making them cry. Like, that's fun. Like, that's what gaming used to be as well. Like, it's almost a little sad. Yeah. Like, I remember back in the day, I don't know, someone said this before, but I love the point of like, if someone just destroyed you in an old Call of Duty, it would never be, oh, I hate skill-based matchmaking. It would always be, how do I do that? How do I get that good? What controller is he using? What is his sensitivity? What is his class? It was always, what can I do to be as good as them? Now it's like, why am I getting put up against good people? I want to go against bad people so I feel like I'm the best. Like, it's almost like this, not victim mentality, but like, you can't lose. Like, losing is bad, but losing makes you better. It makes you want to be better.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these games have just been like molded by that mentality of like, everyone just wants to win. And that, you see it, bro. You see in legendary lobbies when you have kids who go in 8-53 against actual players. You're like, bro, now this isn't fun for you. Like, you can't be having fun.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, I think because mobile developers have become so focused on catering to casuals, they don't know how to create an environment where people who are not casuals can actually enjoy themselves. So much of matchmaking, so much of whatever it is, bot lobbies, like, that's all catered toward casuals, and the features that make video games more enjoyable for higher skilled players are slowly disappearing. Like, you look back at season 1 of Call of Duty Mobile, there were very few people that reached legendary. And so, like, the season 1 legendary frame is the only thing in COD Mobile anymore that's like legitimately rare. Like, oh, that guy's like actually good because he got legendary in season 1. Any frame after that, it doesn't matter because they started making it easier and easier for people to rank up. You got more points for winning. You got penalized less for losing. And all those combined just to make it more friendly toward casuals. And I think there needs to be somewhat of a balance there, but at the same time, it should be difficult to reach the highest rank in the game. Like, it shouldn't just be, I'm trying to like avoid reaching legendary, and so like I have to try to lose game. Like, that is an issue if I have to intentionally play bad in order to lose a game.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's a good point of like, mobile developers probably are more skewed than like a PC. I mean, the best ranked systems are PC. Like, I don't know, the Apex mobile rank system is so far off from the PC rank system that it like, we had a talk with developers a few weeks back, and I just told them, I was like, bro, no one likes this rank system. Like, literally no one in this call has agreed that the rank system is good, and just copy the PC rank system. That's not even perfect, but it's much better than what we have now. Like, there's no point to reinvent something that sucks. Like, just copy something that's good and make improvements from there, rather than, I don't know, man. Mobile games can't seem to figure out ranked anymore. Like, it's so frustrating too, because that's like, as counterintuitive it is, like playing ranked in a mobile game, there's still that like hardcore audience, like you and I, that want to, and we're just left scratching our heads, like, bruh, we just play customs.
I feel like I feel like Supercell is the only company that's done it, because like and I think it's partially because Supercell games are all 1v1. And so like you have that understanding, like it's just me against this other guy. Like there's no threat of a nuke. You're not going to get absolutely steamrolled, whatever it is. But they figured out a way to constantly match people against people of similar skill level, card level, whatever it is. And obviously that's a little bit tougher to transfer over to a 5v5, to a battle royale, to whatever it is. But right now it seems like their games are the only place that I can really look on a consistent basis and be like, yeah, like there's pretty good chance if I hop into one of their games, it's going to be a relatively competitive match.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe Bobby broke through to them and he's speaking the good gospel to the COD Mobile team. But only time will tell. We do have some so new state PUBG Mobile. So if you guys don't know, this is a really funny story. There's PUBG Mobile and there's PUBG Mobile New State. New State is
not PUBG Mobile New State anymore. It's just New State Mobile.
Apologies. New State Mobile. New State Mobile is. So what? So then how do I? It was PUBG Mobile. When did it not be PUBG Mobile New State?
They
was
rebranded.
It never?
No, it used to be PUBG Mobile New State, but they rebranded it to just New State.
So it's basically a PUBG Mobile 2 that's not in any way correlated to the main PUBG Mobile, like skin-wise, account progression-wise. And when that game...
But it's very similar.
It's eerily similar. That game came out November, I think, of last year.
That sounds right.
And you said that's not true?
No, that sounds right.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was about to say, because that was in November, so I went to this tournament. It was a creator tournament. It was me, Surfing Boy,
Noah,
and a PC PUBG player. And when I got there, I didn't know PUBG New State was a new game. I thought it was like a new season, it's like a new Fortnite chapter. Like, oh, you go from chapter 1, chapter 2. I thought it was like PUBG chapter 1 was done, and this was like, it was like new. It's like the new state of PUBG. And it wasn't. So, PUBG, you can explain the ban. You probably understand the ban a little bit more about BGMI, because I don't really understand all that.
Yeah, so basically India has been banning like a lot of Chinese apps for a while now. So it initially resulted in the ban on PUBG, which PUBG really got its blow up in India. That's where a lot of big Indian mobile content creators were made, is in PUBG. So that was a really big deal whenever it got banned. Then Krafton, who is like the original PUBG maker, made BGMI, but it was literally exactly the same as PUBG Mobile. They just had a different name and a different what's the name of it? It's not producer, it's publisher.
Publisher, yeah.
They had a different publisher that put the game out. So that let the game go under the radar for a while, and then boom, out of the blue, BGMI gets banned in India. So now there's no PUBG in India, except New State has no affiliation with Tencent. Tencent's affiliation with PUBG Mobile is the main reason that it got banned in India. Now, Krafton, I believe, is South Korean, if I'm not mistaken. So because they were the developer of New State, they don't have anything to worry about, which now provides a big opportunity for them. Now, that being said, the launch of New State was extremely underwhelming. I didn't actually play it, but from everything that I've seen, the people that have talked about it, it was super, super buggy. There were a lot of issues on launch, and it didn't really live up to the hype. And also, the majority of people that already enjoyed PUBG Mobile just stuck with PUBG Mobile, and BGMI was already back out, so it's not like they were able to pull any of that audience. But with both PUBG Mobile and BGMI being banned in India, it now opens up a big opportunity. And I think my only real source for New State Mobile news is Winsanity on Twitter. He's saying they've made a lot of big improvements. I know they've been running their own esports, and it's been FPP, which is a big deal because PUBG stuff has always been in TPP, at least when it comes to mobile. So I think this is a big opportunity for them, and they could potentially capitalize. Obviously, whenever BGMI got banned, pretty much every mobile shooter got a little bit of spike. I sent you those statistics that
Not
you
Apex.
saw like a little bit up. Apex got like a couple more downloads. COD Mobile got a few downloads, and the New State went like way up because obviously that's a much more lateral movement to go from PUBG Mobile to New State. So I'm curious to see whether or not they can capitalize on that momentum. A lot of people questioning whether or not BGMI comes back as well. I think it's extremely unlikely, but obviously with the amount of money that it makes, they'll definitely make an attempt to.
Yeah, it's fascinating that, like, I know Apex Mobile's banned in Belgium because Belgium doesn't allow loot box
Gambling.
Yeah, gambling. It is gambling, bro. Apex Mobile's loot boxes are crazy.
0.07% chance. How is that gambling? Come on,
1 in
Ducky.
1,400 odds, dude. I don't even think there's a game in Vegas where you have that little odds. Like, genuinely.
I doubt it.
Roulette is the worst, I think, with like 1 in 36. And that's still better than 1 in 1,400. But it is fascinating to see, like, how you're basically your biggest region of a game just getting banned. But then everyone else, it's not like Fortnite Mobile where just the entire platform is axed. Like, it's only a region, but it is your biggest region being, like, negatively impacted by this. And yeah, I'm just not a real PUBG guy. I know when Sanity, like you said, is like the only creator that I follow actively that I'll see stuff from him. I think iStream started playing a few days ago, so I think everyone is kind of just like moseying around to different games. And so if there was a good time for a game to be banned, I think now is a good time. Because the mobile game scene is pretty dull, pretty low, and even on Google Trends though, like New State, it didn't even get close to PUBG Mobile worldwide, like even on the peak. So it's like it doesn't seem to be affecting it like terribly, but it's weird. It sucks though. It happens in the first place. Like people spend thousands of dollars on games just for like some political government stuff to get in the way of your like games and your accounts, which sucks. And then I wanted to bring this up. I don't know. Have you heard of there's a Twitch streaming group called OTK with like Misgive, Asmongold. Do you know who they are?
I've heard of them.
Okay, yeah. So they launched their own like PC building service, and it got flamed because they're basically selling like $1,500 PCs that are only like $800 to build. Like their markup was insanity. And I've seen other creators recently launch some of their own products, some with more success and validity than others. I'm not gonna name any names, but have you ever thought about making a product or like selling something, or like, because I think we talked about this one time of like, should we, like, people are like, just make a game, and you're like, oh my god, no, I'm not doing that.
I think the amount of time required to invest for that is just not worth the marginal benefit in most scenarios. Like talking about, I think the most common example in our space is selling thumb sleeves.
Yep.
I can't imagine the margins on thumb sleeves. Yeah. I can't imagine the margins on those are all that good. Like, if I really wanted to full send it selling thumb sleeves, I would probably just, like, ask MGC if they would give me my own Bobby brand thumb sleeves and give me a bigger margin. Like, that would probably be a better route for me to take than actually trying to sell my own thumb sleeves, just because, like, the amount of time you got to go through with production, with the branding, handling social media, or you got to pay somebody to handle the social media. So many things that you have to do to actually make that happen. I feel like for me, it would have to be something that does have a big margin that there's a high demand for. And the only thing I can think of would be actually profitable would be a game, which time, money, everything's got to go into that. The one thing I like heavily consider, I was like, maybe I can make this happen. I was like, I'm gonna make my own gaming tablet, but that's that's just such a big jump. And once again, I think it would probably be better to just partner with somebody that actually has like the know-how,
Yeah.
and then give them the feedback rather than
Like just partner. I feel like Red Magic would be the most likely candidate of like small enough, but also as experienced enough to actually do something like that. I was considering like 2 years ago. I didn't look much into it, but like a universal water cooler for mobile gaming devices, because I bought this water cooling like pump. It was literally like a PC water cooler. It had like a reservoir and it'd pump it through the case for like my iPhone something. And it was insane. Like it helped out tremendously for performance. And I was like, that'd be crazy to like go to manufacturer, like make something universal for most smartphones, and then, bring it to the public and be like, make your phone not want to blow up every time you ever play a game. But then it's like, I mean, you're talking thousands in research and development, thousands in molds, and like it's a tens of thousands of dollars ordeal for something that would probably make a few $1,000s in sales at most.
Exactly.
At the current state, the mobile scene, as big as it is in terms of like accessories and products like specific to mobile, there's just no market for them. Like even phone coolers, like they're super bulky. Who's gonna bring one? Like I think that's the main thing about mobile accessories is like, who's gonna go out of the way to bring that with them outside of their home? Like you're not gonna see someone like on the subway with a water cooler next to them. Like that's not happening. So it was just I just wanted to bring it up because I've seen some other faces out there doing some stuff, and all power to them, but didn't know if there was a Bobby Plays, maybe Bobby Plays tablet coming soon. Who knows?
No. Sorry, somebody's at my door. Okay, it was just the UPS guy.
We talked about it. I say who.
I'm getting swatted.
But yeah, that is gonna wrap it up for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed, as always, make sure you smack that manhandle that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're on Spotify, make sure you like the podcast so that we never miss an episode whenever we do create one. We're still looking for guests. Obviously, the space is still pretty limited in terms of who we can have on. We don't want to run through all of our guests within a few weeks or so. So if you do have any suggestions, any creators, maybe in a different niche, or maybe a Supercell creator you want us to reach out to, feel free to let us know in the comment section below. We'll definitely try to read those and reach out. Or if any topics, if you guys know some spicy info that we don't, feel free to share it. We'll look into it. We'll report back to you guys. But with all that being said, thank you so much for listening in and watching to the Two Thumbs Up podcast. I've been Ducky the Gamer. Bobby Plays as always. And have a great one. See you next time.
Adios.
Peace.